Welcome to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show presented by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission, and also brought to you by Sir Dyke Yamaha, MoDOT, Buckle Up, Phone Down, Hedges Scott Millard Family Funeral Homes, and Slumberland Furniture, Slumberland at the Lake. We are here at Camdenton on the practice field for the Lakers. Head coach Par Pitts with us here. And Coach, Friday night you had a tough task. You had the number 3 ranked team in the state, Elias, here. Great first half. Second half just got away from you a little bit.
Yeah, I felt like that we played really hard, played well, executed in a lot of different ways, caused turnovers, those kind of things in the first half, and really were in the middle of it. We ran out of gas the second half, and you know, they're a really good team, you know, and now we see where that standard is, and, you know, they're in our district, so if we can continue to improve, we'll get a chance to play them again, hopefully in district play.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll talk about the district coming up here in just a couple of minutes. As you mentioned, the first half, hold them to 14 points. Second half, they kind of found their stride or something. You say you ran out of gas. Was it just was it a conditioning thing, or what was that?
Yeah, playing at such a high level, I mean, you're gonna. It's hard to sustain that for 4 quarters. We hadn't had that sort of effort for 4 quarters yet, and so some of it's conditioning, some of it's heat, some of it's just that emotional effort that it takes to go out there and play really, really hard, really effectively. And then, you know, when you get down to the score, it's even more difficult to come back, you know, but I was proud of our guys' effort for sure.
Absolutely. And Elias D, that's a good defense they've got over there. They held you to the less than double digits, I think, and they were hard to move the ball on.
They were. They did a great job of in coverage against our passing game and against the run. They had a good plan against that. So, you know, we had some opportunities we didn't take advantage of. We had too many penalties. We felt like that we could move the ball, and then we just kind of got ourselves in a deeper hole, and it was much more tough. Yeah, I give a lot of credit to their defense, but we've got to get better and play better on the offensive side for sure.
It's good to be able to see that, to be able to grow on that kind of earlier in the season. So new conference this year, new faces, new places, no Lebanon on the regular season schedule this year. First of all, do you miss that, or is that no big deal?
You know, it's exciting time for everybody, but I sort of felt like this game against Elias was that style, like that kind of a crowd, that caliber of an opponent. So it was good, you know, and in the back of our minds, we know that we're in the same district as them, and we mentioned that earlier, so there's definitely a chance to get matched up somewhere as we go through.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we find out that Lebanon is in your district. You could meet them in the playoffs, possibly. Right now, I think you're second in the standings in the or third in the standings in the district, and Lebanon's a little bit further down. So right now, Elias and Cap City are 1 and 2 in the district. That's tough. Those are 2 tough teams. Still have to play Cap City. And then Rolla, Jeff City, Lebanon, and Smith Cotton are behind you in the district. So like you said, you might have to see that Elias team again and get another crack at them later.
Yeah, that's what I told our guys Friday. You know, if we take care of what we need to take care of, they do the same, then there's a chance that we get to come back and play it again, and I like our chances for sure.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're talking Camdenton Laker football. The Lakers on the road this week against Battle, so we'll talk about that when we come back on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show.
Hi, honey. It's your mom. I know you're probably working, but I just saw on the news that 3 people die in car crashes every day in Missouri. I just think about you driving around, and it makes me so worried. So buckle your seatbelt, don't look at your phone, and don't speed. And I know you know this, but please always drive sober. You're a good kid. Just be safe, okay? Mom loves you. Okay, bye.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers pediatrics at 2 lake locations and 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic, offering same-day appointments. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone, whether you live at the lake or just here visiting. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission. Welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. We're here at Camdenton. Lakers on the road for the next 2 weeks. This week on the road to play Columbia Battle, and there's been a little bit of history between these teams. You've played only one time, and that was deep into the playoffs, and the winner of that team more than likely was going to win the state championship. And unfortunately, that year Battle got the best of it.
Yeah, 2014, we came up 8 points short. They went on to win the state title, and so that team was a good football team. They had a lot of talent, a little bit like this year. This year they're very talented. They got some real good skill guys, some really good linemen. So we know that they're on the rise. They're improving each week.
Yeah, absolutely. So record-wise, Battle has struggled so far this year, but they show glimpses of being really dangerous. And I'm guessing you as a coach kind of hate that going in, right?
Yeah, you know that they've got guys that can make big plays, really on both sides of the ball. Their offense is a big play offense. Have a good running back, have a good quarterback. They've got a couple good receivers that can really stretch the field. And then on defense, they're hard-nosed, are going to be very aggressive. Probably going to be a man coverage team because they're very athletic in the defensive backfield. So we know we'll have our hands full for sure.
What do you want to do on offense to try and take advantage of that Battle team?
Well, we would like to be able to run the ball effectively to try to get ourselves in some good down and distance situations. 3rd and 4 is much better than 3rd and 10 as you're going through your playlist to call. And so we want to be more balanced. It seems like I say that every week, and then sometimes we take 2 steps forward, and then maybe last week we take a step back, primarily due to our opponent. But we need to be able to run the football. We got to be effective. We got to get our completions up and yards per attempt. Is a big thing because we're throwing the ball a lot. We got to get some yardage out of it, and then scoring in the red zone, huge. Yeah. So we got to score when we get our opportunities.
Yeah, and we've been saying that since game 1 this year.
Yeah.
And then on the defensive side of the ball, you want to focus on their run game, their pass game, or do you kind of have to get ready for both?
You have to be balanced. You can't overload one of those things because they are so dangerous down the field in the passing game. And then their run game, if they get a crease somewhere in the middle, it's going to be, you'll have to be chasing them down. And so we have to be balanced. We can't overcommit to one side or the other.
Is this the first time you've played in Columbia? I know it's first year in this conference. I think first time this year you've gone to Columbia, right?
Yeah, I don't know of another time that we played Hickman or Rockbridge or Battle at their place. We were at Jamboree maybe in 2016. We played a Rockbridge in the state championship in Columbia in 1977. And in 1987, we played in the state championship in Columbia. So it may be since that last state championship game other than a Jamboree.
Wow, yeah, and probably you played that at Mizzou, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, Rowe Field.
So fantastic, some good history there. So traveling on the road, are you enjoying the new conference so far this year, or are you missing some of the old faces and rivalries and going to Springfield and stuff like that?
I think it's exciting to see new places, to go against new systems and new coaching staffs, new programs. It's a lot of learning. It seems like every weekend when we dive into our opponent, it's kind of starting from scratch. When you're playing a team in the Ozark Conference that you've played for 30 years, you have at least a starting point. And for these weeks, we're starting really at ground zero, and so that's a challenge, but it's invigorating as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and we talk a little bit about the history. A lot of the history against these teams, whether it was Rockbridge or Battle or Helias, was all playoff action before, so kind of fun to get them in the conference now. Well, Coach, thank you, and good luck Friday night.
Yeah.
Coming up next, we're going to travel across town. We'll talk with Osage coach Shannon Jolley, find out what the Red Hot Indians have coming up this week on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show.
Being close to the water makes you more you. It's where the great unknown brings clarity. And letting go is how you really get going. Because only when you're on a Yamaha Wave Runner do you truly discover what you're made of.
Visit Surdyke Yamaha at Lake of the Ozarks, 50 years strong.
It seems like there's a great high school football rivalry game on Lake TV every Friday night. Here we go again. This week it's for Sales and Warsaw. The Wildcats have been a powerhouse the last few years. Can the Tigers pull off a big homecoming win? It all starts with a COMC pregame show at 6:30, kickoff set for 7, presented by Polylift Boat Lifts. Will it be the Tigers or Wildcats? Join William Holtz and Mike Bissell Friday night to find out on Lake TV.
Hey everybody, Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. It's football time here in the Midwest. Can you sit and watch football all day long? If not, you need to come check out our comfortable seats here at Slumberland. We have sectionals, we have reclining sofas, and we have the big nice recliners. You need to come see them, they're all on sale. And we have interest-free financing. Don't forget, we deliver the entire lake area. So come see us at Slumberland Furniture, where we're bringing happy home.
Welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show, presented by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center. As you can see, we've made our way over here to Osage, home of the Indians. It's Coach Shannon Jolley with us. And Coach, good week because you come off a huge win Friday night over previously undefeated Eldon. That was a pretty good game for you guys.
Yeah, I'm going to try to look a little happier. I watched a little bit of the thing that you sent out last week of us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I look terrible. Like, it's like this guy's in a bad mood. So, yeah, you know, coming off definitely rebounding back from the Blair Oaks game was positive for us. And, of course, we still have some things to work on. But, you know, here we are, and it's cooled down a little bit, and we're looking forward to this week.
Actually feels like football weather out here.
It does feel like fall finally.
So how proud does it make you as a coach when you see your team respond, coming off a tough loss to number 1 Blair Oaks, and to play a game that good?
Well, you're a little bit more proud when you know exactly why we responded. We're still trying to figure that out with our kids as far as like, you know, what makes them tick and what kind of pushes their buttons a little bit. Because everybody thinks, I think coaching is about, you know, motivating and having a pregame speech and stuff, and it's just really a non-factor. I think there's small things that might kind of stimulate you, you know, before you go out and you kind of get excited. But, you know, we talk about that false hype sometimes backfires because you go out there thinking one thing and then you do another thing and you get confused. But I'm proud of the way our kids came out, and we had a little bit of a challenging week last week. Let's just say that. And so for our kids to come out and get a significant win, I think is enough in itself to be excited for.
Yeah, absolutely, and something great to build on. Looked like the run game was really working pretty well. Was that the line, the running backs, or a combination of both?
Well, it's always a combination of the offensive line play is the first thing, and then really it's a little bit more of the defensive look, like what. Because it's interesting to see each week what each defensive coordinator puts together to try to stop what you're best at. And we've seen Drake do some good things. A little bit of it off the film was more athletically gifted and making plays, just being a good football player. The execution wasn't quite where we wanted it. But again, when you work that hard in the offseason and you run track and you do all those things to be stronger and faster, you know, a lot of times you can create your own opportunities. But no, we thought we ran the ball better this week.
Yeah, you really did. And over on the other side of the ball, gave up some late points. This game really wasn't even as close as a final score would indicate, but the defense played really well. No,
we were excited. We were really disappointed in the touchdown to Beckman down here in the corner. Landon Childs is our best corner guy. And Eldon did a nice job by bringing the Beanland kid back across in motion and showing a little bit of a bubble screen type look. And then the Beckman kid got behind Landon Childs, which usually doesn't happen. So, no, our defense, that was a big play that they got. And hats off to them for that. It was a great throw and a great catch. But again, the game seemed a little bit more in control than maybe what it was.
Yeah, is that a positive thing when you've got such a big lead? You're able to do a lot of substituting and get some young players in there.
Well, if you were on our sideline Friday night, you wouldn't think anything was positive about it because there was some butts getting chewed and some organizational breakdowns because, you know, those young guys, they want to play. Mm-hmm. And so you think you've done a good job on Thursday, like, hey, be ready, do this. You don't want to talk to your kids about, like, hey, if we get a really big lead, you got to be ready.
Right.
But you have to have them staged because you want them to get some time in. but only if they've earned it. And we've got some kids that have earned it. But Friday night, we made some substitutions, and there was a little bit of confusion, and maybe that was on us coaches. But we expect them to be ready. And on Friday night, it just didn't seem like we had all of our stuff together for that substitution package, so it cost us a little bit.
Good experience, though, for them to get them in there, get them some field time. All right, coming up this week, it's California, and so we'll talk about the game against California Friday night when we come back on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show.
During this chapter of life, we are really taking the time to enjoy the little things.
So it was important to have our final wishes pre-planned so our family wouldn't be burdened later on.
Hedges Scott Millard made it simple, but thorough. They provided us with different options right here in the comfort of our home.
We are so glad that we planned ahead. Now a whole lot more of this, a little of this, all with the peace of mind we wanted.
At Hedges Scott Millard, we believe that every day is a gift, and so is every life. Take time to enjoy it.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers pediatrics at 2 lake locations and 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic, offering same-day appointments. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone, whether you live at the lake or just here visiting. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission. Welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. We're here at Osage, home of the Indians, who are on the road this week against a 1-3 California team. I'm guessing the Pintos are a little better than that 1-3 record, though.
Yeah, and, coming off a game against Blair Oaks, so we know how that feels. So
Yeah.
I think, they lost a lot last year, and I think Coach did a good job of putting that group together. I always tell people when you come in as a new head coach, it's confusing sometimes what year things turn and when they don't. You want it to turn around quicker than not.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can happen a little bit too soon. We saw that a couple years ago with that good group we had. But I think California's down a little bit this year. But they lost a lot. But I tell you what, their kids play really hard. They always do.
Yep.
And we know that we're going to get the best from California on Friday night.
Yeah, another good rivalry kind of a game. They won a close game last year. What do you suppose is going to be the key to this one this year?
I think for us just to kind of slingshot off of Friday night is making sure that our confidence is high, that we know what we're doing, and in this week in practice, maybe step back just a little bit and identify the things we do well and really focus on doing those things better. Mm-hmm. It's the difference between doing something good and doing something great. And so we've got a few things specifically offensively that we're still not great at that we were probably better at last year. I think we're a better football team, but there's some concepts that we still need to improve on. But that happens a little bit when you try to expand. And we've done that, which has been super for us. So, we'll see how it goes.
This is year 4 back at Osage. And in those 4 years, there's been a progression of building this program, back to strength, back to prominence. And we're really seeing that this year with that 3-1 record.
Yeah, and I think that was my previous example. When we had Tanner Gardner and Ashton Carter and those guys, they were physically ready for everything. Mm-hmm. The structure and the discipline hadn't quite got there yet, and that was the team that played for a district title at Reed Spring. This team is kind of indicative of that without maybe as much as the physical attributes that team had. So we're just, it's kind of that, you see it coming together, mm-hmm. and I'd like for all of it to come together this year, but there's still going to be some pieces that we'll be trying to develop into next year, but that's the plan. That's what you want to do is get better each week and each year.
It's always good to have a plan. I was looking at your district. Man, you're in a tough district this year. Right now there are 3 4-0 teams in your district, and nobody has a losing record. So when we get to playoff time, it's going to be a tough road to hoe.
Yeah. We talk about that. That's at age 53 at the end of your career, you want to play in significant games. You want to play good games. And again, I know it's not maybe the popular thing. There's teams that'll go out there and play a team that's 500, week 10, and then another team that maybe has a 500 record week 11 and get to that third part or get to a district title game and really not be playing that good of football. Mm-hmm. And it'd be awesome to extend the football season. Our goal right now is that's why we talk about our staff about not being satisfied. Our win Friday night was good, but, Eldon is not Hannibal.
Yeah.
And so when you look at it in that perspective, everybody understands that, and that's no disrespect to Eldon. We got to go. And if we want to win a district game, if we want to host a district game, the only way we're going to host a district game in my eyes is if we win out or have two or less losses.
Yeah.
And without that, if we have 3 losses on our schedule, I'm not sure that we'll be able to host a game here week 10.
That district is that good, including Hannibal in the district, too. Okay, so that is your COMC High School Football Coaches Show for this week. It is presented by COMC and brought to you by the great folks at Sir Dyke Yamaha, MoDOT, Buckle Up, Phone Down, Hedges Scott, Millard Family Funeral Homes, and Slumberland Furniture.
Take Lake TV with you wherever you go. Watch Lake TV on demand on YouTube, Roku, and Fire TV.